Okay, welcome back. It's Big Muscle again. I want to on the hustle again. Now, this is my new plane that I bought to fly to California next week. Not really, okay? So, what is this? This is the Warhawk. We're gonna get into the details. So let's just do a quick viewing so we can get more footage of this Warhawk. And then we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of the work it did, what it was used for, and what's going on with it. Okay, we have some machine guns right here. See these machine guns? It's three, rows of three. And I guess on the other wing, there's also three more sets of guns right here. Okay, so let's take a deep dive into this great information that's posted here. So the Curtiss P4 on Warhawk. Okay, so let's go ahead and read it. The P-40 was the major fighter for the Army Air Corps at the beginning of World War II. Developed from Curtiss P-36 series, more than 13,000 P-40s were built before the production ended in 1944. The P-40 served in the Aleutians, China, Australia, North Africa, and the air forces of 28 allied nations, including Great Britain, France, and Russia. Though outclassed by most German and Japanese fighters, its ruggedness and firepower allowed the Army Air Force to hold the line until more advanced designs were produced. The P-40 engaged in the Japanese during the attack on Pearl Harbor and the invasion of Philippines in December 1941. They were flown with great success by General Chennault's famed flying Tigers in China. In North Africa, they flew from the aircraft carrier USS Ranger to engage in the Germans and were flown by the Black Combat Unit, the 99th Fighter Squadron. The P-40N was the final production version, almost half of the Warhawks built. The aircraft was lightened to improve performance, armored reduced, the forward fuel tank removed, and the fighting material substituted. The fuselage behind the cockpit was cut down and replaced with a clear canopy that improved the pilot's visibility to the rear. With a more powerful version of the Allison engine, these changes made the P-40N the fastest of the series. A number of N models, including the aircraft on display, were modified into advanced trainers by adding a second cockpit behind the pilot. During the Second World War, the Warner Robins Air Technical Service Command provided logistics to support the depot-level maintenance of all P-40 aircraft in Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. The aircraft on display was obtained by the Museum of Aviation in 1994 with the help from the 653rd Combat Logistics Support Squadron, CLSS, and the Air Force Reserve. Restoration was done by the museum staff. Middle Georgia VOTEC and the 653rd CLSS was done by the Museum of Staff, Middle Georgia VOTEC, and the 653rd class. Although a P-40N, this aircraft is painted in the markings of the P-40E, flown by Colonel Robert L. Scott Jr., commander of the 23rd Fighter Group at Cummins, China in 1942. Colonel Scott became an ace with 13 victories credited by the 23rd Fighter Group records, and later wrote the best-selling book, God is My Co-Pilot. So here are the specs of this fighter jet. So the specs are the wingspan, 37 feet 4 inches the length, 33 feet 4 inches the height, 12 feet 4 inches maximum gross weight, 8,850 pounds. The engine is an Allison V1710-81 of 1,300 60 horsepower. The cost, $45,000 at that time, I would imagine. The performance, maximum speed, 378 miles per hour. Range, 1,250 miles. Service ceiling, 38,000 feet. And it goes to a cruising speed